everybody. Welcome to the Soulful Eclectic. I am your host, Dr. Diana Collins. And if this is the first time you're joining us, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming to joining us, taking us your time, sharing whatever it is. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate the shares that you have all done. If you are returning, in which I know many of you are, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of the tribe and coming back to join us. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to our WUBI Ubiquity radio and TV listeners. I can't tell you how much we appreciate all of you. We are an international radio and TV station, and we are constantly playing music, live streaming, webinars. So if any of you are out there and you have that creative spirit and you want to come in and show your work, please reach out to us on the chat. As you can see here, we have a chat, or you can send us the email at the wubi.live. We are on Apple and on Google Podcasts. So definitely go in and share it. If it's music that resonates with you, please do so. And let's see what else we have for our sponsors. Thank you so much to our sponsors. So with all of that, we have our lovely, lovely sponsor from Divine Nubian Essentials. I don't know why I'm at a loss for words right now. Divine Nubian Essentials is definitely one of our greatest and biggest sponsors. So if you have not tried Divine Nubian Essentials, I'm still wondering what are you doing with your life? So Divine Nubian Essentials is an all-natural, holistic, 100% essential oils, plants, herbs that is handmade and does nothing but edify the skin. And when I say your skin is soft, beautiful, your hair, I use nothing but Divine Nubian Essentials on my skin and in my hair. And as you can see, my beautiful models, they're not just models, they are also product users. So thank you to those who have used and support Divine Nubian Essentials. We also have our other sponsors, which, oh my gosh, love, love, love. You guys know I'm all about the education, right? So Collins Education Resource Management is also another one of our sponsors here at the Soulful Eclectic. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to them. They are definitely educational specialists that specialize in healthcare tutoring and preparation for nursing exams and so much more. We go out into the community and talk about health, wellness, and advocating for yourself. So definitely reach out and see if something in the education, Collins Education Resource Management resonates with you, or share. Sharing is caring, people. Share it with your friends, family, whoever is in the healthcare field and you think they are struggling. It's geared to helping and centering those of us, specifically in the Black and Brown community, but we help everybody. So definitely share the information. Like I said, sharing is 100% caring. So with that, I want to go ahead and talk about my guest today. My guest today, now you guys know I have exceptional guests that come on, and we talk about a plethora of things. And my guest today is nothing short of that. I've watched this young lady on Instagram, and something in her spirit just resonates with me. So with that, I bring to you guys Miss Lolo Lavish. And just her name alone just like makes me smile. I mean, and not to mention that she's like, her favorite color is blue, obviously.
Yeah.
and blue is my daughter's favorite color. I mean, purple is my favorite color, and I love blue too. Blue is also my daughter's favorite color. Her middle name is Ariel. She is all about the water.
What?
Yes, she is all about the water. And she's just, she actually had me paint her room blue because she wanted to feel like she was under the sea when she was a teenager.
Wow.
I was like, it's fine. It's our house. I can paint the house. The walls blue, whatever color you want. Fine. So she wanted this whole nautical theme because she really felt like she was Ariel. So it was, it was her thing. Um, and it's funny because we did a, a small little. She had her and her fiance did like a little gender reveal because she is pregnant, expecting her first baby, and we did a cake for her. I knew she didn't know what she was having, but my husband and I knew what she was having, and so we ordered the cake for her, and so it was like cute little under the sea kind of cake,
Okay.
and on it we wrote, "What would our little guppy be?" It was just
Ah,
I know. And then I get to meet you, who is like all about being a mermaid and, loving
yeah.
life. And it's just, I always think about it's just divine, divine intervention and all these things. And I am that eclectic soul and empathetic spirit, and so is she. So, like I said, I follow you on Instagram,
Okay.
and I appreciate you answering my DM when I reached out to you, because I always feel like, oh my God, it's odd that I'm like DMing this person, but I
No,
really think they're interesting. And I
I
really
feel the
want
same
to
way.
no, okay.
I feel the same way.
No, okay. Because I'm like, oh my gosh. But I appreciate you reaching back out and actually following up with me, because life is
Yeah.
lifing. So I appreciate, you following up and wanting to have the conversation and reaching out to me. And I just love where you're going, and watching you do your thing and grow. It's just, I'm a people watcher,
Okay.
not in a creepy kind of way or anything, but I love to see people do what they love,
Yeah.
because we are always so censored in everything that we're doing. They want to
Yeah.
compartmentalize us and, take away our individuality and our creativity and make it to what they think it should be. So I always want to celebrate any individual who is just out there being their authentic self. And I saw that in you, and that really resonated with me with you. So thank you for allowing me to meet you and being on my podcast. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, thank you. Shucks. I mean, I thought it was cool. I knew I was gonna do interviews one day, but I just didn't know how I was gonna start. I at the time I didn't have a manager, right? I'm not having anybody look through the emails for me. So it's like, oh, okay, I had to get myself together. I kept remembering, I'm like, please respond to this lady. Kept getting busy. Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Happy Pride. I'm sorry. I was supposed to tell you Happy Pride. I forget
right,
about
happy
Pride
Pride.
Month.
Happy Pride Month. It's like love month. And my guest before um was like, I didn't say it to them either, but I was like, but what we talked about was all about love. So it was like, it's all about love. And to me, that is exactly what pride is. It's all about loving not just who you want to love, but loving yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about. So yeah, so thank you. So tell us a little bit about who Lolo Lavish is.
Um, Lolo Lavish is a siren, a voice, an alarm system. Um, I did not know that I was going to have a spiritual store. My first initial root goal from out of high school was fashion design. I got into some of the top design schools. It's so many. Their names all go together, like Otis, FITM, FIDM, FID,
Yeah.
LIDM. Like they're all like that. Parsons, Pratt, and I
Hmm.
didn't know that um, when it comes to housing, it's not like a university. So at the
Right.
last minute, with me not having housing set up in New York City or Cali, I went to Texas Southern University. They had open enrollment. It was late enrollment and it worked. And then over that time period, I realized I was super interested in exotic dance and poles. And I said, I want a nightclub. I always wanted a nightclub. I grew up a theater kid. And so I go to work at pole studios, right? And I get that side of life and I see what's going on with that. Then I start working in clubs. I dance and I'm noticing like, I don't like this. I don't like the stuff that's going on. And then I work at a dancewear store. And again, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm noticing all the problems, you know, as a dancer, as a stripper, you'll shop at a stripper clothing store and the owner, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, they're going to look down on you. They're not going to really respect strippers, or they never were a stripper, but they want to make money off strippers. And so I went into a space where I'm like, well, I want to make my own shit and I want to show people how it's supposed to be done. And here we are. And I learned I was a medium 4 years ago in 2020, along with all of the fake spiritualists, the COVID spiritualists, the COVID conjurers. And
I love that, the COVID conjurers.
yeah, you know, I found out I was a medium, and so I over time I started learning about different mermaid deities. I started to having mermaid dreams. I'm noticing when I researched a specific deity that I already had so much in common with that spirit. So that's who I dedicated the store to, Orisha, Yemoja, or Yemoya, however, you know. Yeah. So, you know, that's where we are with it now. And I just wanted a space for other water witches, other water signs, other sirens, other people who want to use their voice, other people who don't like to be silenced. I hate being silenced. I hate being censored. That's why I'm not on TikTok the same anymore. I can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things where I love that I have this space, right, to do that. And being with the radio station and the TV station, I can blast this out to all over, right?
Yeah.
To get that out there. So and I purposefully, like I told you, I purposely seek out individuals who are truly living their authentic self, because my whole podcast is about being your authentic self. And you spoke about dancing and being a dancer. You were a dancer.
Yeah,
Right?
for a short time. Yeah.
For a short time. How was that for you in identifying as who you are? I hate labels, so I don't want to like say you're this, you're that, you're whatever. I don't want to say I hate. I try to stay away from labels. But
Okay.
how did your identity surface while you were dancing for that short period of time?
Well, I mean, in college, I went to the high school for the performing and visual arts. I've been an art student since pre-K. I've always been painting and drawing at home, always drawing. I used to have a binder where I would be at my grandma's house while my mom was at work, and I would just draw designs. So because I didn't end up going to design school, I just went as an art major at TSU. And as a dancer, people could tell. They could tell that I was new to the lifestyle. I was still quirky, nerdy, a little weird and goofy. My name kept changing. I never even went to a strip club as a client. I just jumped up and went in because I thought it was so cool that I could be sexy and get paid to do so. But then when I got in there, I saw the problems. But yeah, my identity was, it was who I am. Awkward, goofy, individual. Like I never had the experience what a lot of dancers do, where you live with other people. You know, you're in survival mode. You end up having roommates. I never had that. I didn't have like a dance partner. I didn't go dancing with other girls. I was just by myself. And my name's Lord. I started off as, I think my first name was Topaz. And then people were like, what the fuck is Topaz? So then that was getting awkward. I think from there I went into, oh God, I think it was like Lena. And then if you at a Hispanic club, everybody's name is Lena. Jesus Christ, I think. And then I went into Lohan. My first name was November. And they kept saying, oh, you're so adorable. I didn't like that. I didn't want to be adorable as a stripper. Then It was Topaz. Then it was Lena. And then it was Lohan. And people, again, they were like, what the hell is Lohan? Every time I tried to talk to a client, they were like, what? You know, So I realized I needed to simplify this instead of making it all deep and artistic. So I tried to get hired at Club Onyx in Houston. I got turned down humiliatingly in front of a bunch of people.
Oh,
And I I ended up in a car with a girl who got kicked out for fighting. And as she's talking, and I'm sure she might have been high, she is babbling on. I'll never forget, she was asking me, "What are you doing here?" Because everybody could tell I was so different. And I'm like, well, I just genuinely like the idea of being sexy and having men pay me. And I told her I wanted to do like a Malaya Michelle or like a Lyra Galore. I wanted my name to be two-part, and I wanted it to be alliteration, like slide off your tongue. And I told her, my birth name is Layla, and I'm like, well, I could be Layla Lohan. She cut all of that out. She's like, why don't you just be Lohan or Lolo or whatever? And from there, I was like, oh, and so I kept it. And I thank her.
yeah.
If I ever hear from her again or see from her, I hope she's doing okay. But yeah, like I was like, oh, Lolo, and everybody loved Lolo. Everybody. So I kept it.
Yeah,
So,
and it seems fitting. And
yeah.
it just rolls, Lolo.
Yeah, and it's fun,
Yeah,
So yeah,
you
that's
know,
that was.
and so speaking about some of the problems that you noticed, what is some of the things that you noticed when you were in there that you wanted to change and not see in your own establishment when you have it?
Um, Racism for one. You still have to deal with racism even in the sex work industry. And it's like it feels 10 times worse because you don't have the respect or protection from law enforcement. It's not a regular job where you can report to HR at a lot of clubs. With racism in the clubs, we say things like, at least in Houston, we'll say, I danced at a white club, or, oh, I went to a white club. Oh, were you at a Hispanic club? Oh, were you at a black club? People say these terms. And at a white club, it's interesting which black girls they hire.
Mhm.
You got to have a special friend, or you got to look like a tall, skinny, light-skinned mixed model, or no tattoos, or it's all this racism. So that was pretty harsh, because a slow day for a white girl at a white strip club, her slow day might be $800 or $1,000, and to her that's a slow day. But for a black woman at a black club, a slow day could easily actually just be $0, and a lot of people are too embarrassed to talk about it. Like it's embarrassing. People don't really want to admit, like, oh my God, I spent $80 tipping the club out, paying the club to be here, or I spent $300 paying the club to be here. And the a slow night for a black woman or a Hispanic woman could actually just be $0. And even what you're expected to do, you'll have clients straight up tell you that at a white club, oh my God, they'll brag to you because they know they can get away with it. They'll tell you that at a white club, they're not expecting the dancers to do much of anything but just sit. And then they'll tell you, well, I come here and you black bitches, y'all do cartwheels for $5. It's just racism amplified.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it's a lot of politics, who's sleeping with who in the management is full of shit. You get taken advantage of while you're trying to benefit from the system of oppression you're in the first place. And it's just a weird tug of war. It's fucked up. So the management is really what made dancing hard for me, because I couldn't understand why I was in a building for 7 hours. They'll tell you things like, oh, you can't leave because they don't want to market their clubs. That's one of the biggest things. Yeah, it's like I'm not even on any real paperwork at a lot of these clubs. Maybe at a white club, it's more professional, but no, it's just a lot of getting taken advantage of. And now, they do this communism thing where every dancer at the end of the night gets the same amount of money. So no matter what you did or didn't do, some of these clubs in Houston, or I'm sure other cities, they make y'all count the money. They make the girls sit on the floor, count the money, and they make it seem like it's a glamorous experience. But really, it's just something that people are doing to get by. I don't genuinely think that any of the dancers love what's happening. I think it's just a matter of, this is what it is. This is my reality, and I'm just gonna get by. But no matter what you did or did not do, some of these clubs will have everybody, the money gets split equally with all the dancers. They're sweepers in the club. They take They take portions out of your money because they swept your money for you. Um, it just feels like the dancers are the star of the show, but they get treated like slaves. They get treated like it's a hierarchy. And even though you need strippers for a strip club, the strippers are at the bottom to a lot of these people.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you just gave me insight into an industry. Honestly, I almost ended up in.
Okay.
Um, and that's not, again, like you said, it's no push to anybody, because it's it's a profession and it
Yeah.
should be seen as a profession. I mean, dancers work hard.
Yeah.
Um, I tried taking a pole dancing class,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna tell y'all that shit ain't easy.
I never pole danced in the club. I
No,
never.
listen, I give anybody credit who is on a pole.
Oh my God.
I mean, the upper body. Listen, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It
no.
takes look, the girl, my mermaid right now calling me. Um, her ringtone is actually Under the Sea.
Oh my
Shall
gosh.
be Under the Sea. Um, so yeah, so yeah, you give me a whole insight to um that world that I just, like I said, I almost was in.
Okay.
But one thing you said, that you, when you tip out, right, and the house gets a portion, or you pay for the day, that $80.
Yeah.
What do you wait? You are paying the house? Is it what?
So to my understanding, because every club is different. Some people think that all the clubs operate the same, but they don't. So to my understanding, white clubs are a lot more professional in regards to how a strip club is supposed to run.
Uh-huh.
And because there's less protection over Black women in general in the world, there's a lot that people can get away with at a Black strip club where Black women are dancing. But yeah, they'll make it. When I asked the manager what is tip out, because I had no idea what was going on, he said, well, y'all making all this money, right? He said, you need to pay us because we're providing you with all these people. The problem nowadays is that a lot of men just want to own a strip club so they can feel high and mighty. They want to be surrounded by beautiful women, but they don't want to put the work in as any regular entrepreneur needs to do. They want you to market the club. They want you to market the club for them. They started telling some dancers at some clubs, you got to have a certain amount of followers, or they'll make it seem like you have to have an Instagram. I didn't have an Instagram at some period in my life, so then they wouldn't let me dance there. They want you to do the work of a marketing advisor or strategist on top of dancing, and you got to pay them, even though, or they'll take a select few of their girls out with the management and go to clubs and stuff like that. But then again, why am I having to pay you? Or,
Right.
so many things wrong with it. Why am I sleeping with my manager, but all of a sudden I'm paying you at the same time, or I'm working at your club? There's a lot of problems, and they don't get checked because nobody got respect for sex workers. Nobody got respect for strippers. So it's like a lot of this shit continues. But apparently tip out is illegal. And there was a lawyer who was helping dancers to report clubs, but so many clubs do it. It's hard. It's an uphill battle to try to. It's weird. It's like, yes, there's illegal shit going on in the club, but again, I say the strippers are the stars of the show, and I just feel like you can't have a strip club without the strippers. The strippers should be treated the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole point of the show.
You wouldn't have a place without them.
Right. Right. And now the things that they've done to strippers, they're doing the bottle girls in regular clubs. In regular clubs and lounges. They got the bottle girls doing the marketing for them. Oh, you have to promote us. Oh, you have to. And I feel like, well, y'all need to pay them more. Oh, now I learned they got some bottle girls, bottle service, or cocktail waitresses in Houston cleaning the club after the club closes. They don't want to hire a janitor service. So it's a lot of pimpish behavior. Men just want they just want their own form of white supremacy, really. And
Wow.
It sucks actually. And then you've got the women that are also trying to fit into that with their madam behavior, and it just sucks. So, I want to make changes in that industry. That's why I want my clubs, because that is bullshit.
I wow. I mean, that shit I didn't even know. I didn't think. I mean, honestly, it's shit that you would see in a movie that you wouldn't think actually still happens to today. And I know it's changing based off of laws and regulations, and everyone's trying to figure out that loophole on how to keep more money in their pocket and make more money in your pocket. And like you said, it's pimpish behavior.
Yeah.
Um, I honestly, I would love to see you in a get your club. I mean, I can totally um see that, and I know it's kind of probably off rails, but um because and I'm gonna say I would probably go to your club.
Well, hopefully so. I think that if people are respected and paid properly, then the money can come in a lot faster, actually. Like,
Yes.
people are so busy trying to steal and what do they say, crabs in a bucket. Like, they're so busy trying to penny pinch, and spiritually speaking, I think penny pinching closes you up. Like, yeah, you can make money turning people into slaves, you can, but I think there's more money to be made if if everybody is happy in the situation. I really
Hmm.
feel like there would be so much more money if the strippers
Yes.
were taken care of, if the strippers are happy, if the strippers have a safe place, can they safely report the clients?
Yes.
Because depending on where you're at, if you try to tell the management, hey, this client hurt me or something, the management is going to kick you out. So, if the strippers were respected, if they were treated truly as the stars of the show, then more money could be made. But people want slaves. They really do, and that's the problem. They don't really want to make money. Yeah, they say they do, but it's really because they want control. They want to have slaves.
Yeah, and you said it, and because I was thinking it, I say if people are truly happy where they are when they're at their workplace, whatever it is, you will definitely see it in their in the product, in the
Yeah,
production, and the money will flow in because they're going to be more apt to promote you. Like, you're not forcing them to promote, and their job is not dependent on promoting,
yeah,
right? So now it's like, yeah, I'm doing it because I want to. I love this place. This place is, Lolo's the bomb. She actually listens when I say stuff, and um, you you would run it as a business because, as the other point you made is that no one wants to do the work.
no, the men who run these clubs, a lot of them are lazy. A lot of them are lazy. They want the benefits of the patriarchy without putting in the work. These men would be the same ones whining and complaining that they got to be the breadwinner of the household. I mean, if you want patriarchy, then wouldn't you have to work for it? I mean, take out the trash, run your business. No, they want the women to do all the hard work, but then they want to sit up there and say that they're the elite gender. And it's so backwards.
Hmm. And you can't be the elite gender if the people doing the work are the women.
It's not
I would
no
say
sense.
that no, like they say, the math ain't mathing.
No.
Listen,
So,
that ain't making no sense. Um, so for that, I commend you for that, and I'm going to be looking for your establishment, wherever and whenever.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I want to
send,
open up a lot of clubs. Yeah.
send me an invite. I'll be there.
I'll
I
let
might
you know
even
for
host out of one just
yeah,
for you.
I'll give you a VIP section. Surely, yes.
um the other, and this is just like a random thought about it, because you mentioned the whole business of it, and thinking about it, um and this is actually something my husband and I were thinking about. We actually went out to a random bar. We were like killing time, and so we stopped at like a bar. Neither of us are really big drinkers. Like, we don't honestly, we don't drink.
Okay.
So that is the other thing about going to establishments like, a strip club or a bar, having those non-alcoholic mocktail kind of things.
Okay.
Is that something you would also like think about, consider, or have as part of that? Because I think that too, and here I am marketing with you. Like, that's a whole other
It's funny. I already have a lot of this stuff planned. I get real nerdy about entrepreneurship, so I already have hard drives and USBs, where like I've planned out a lot of businesses, about 50 different businesses, so that way these good ideas that come to me, and now I know why I do that, because now that I know I'm a medium, I do forget. As a medium, you get messages, and then you kind of can't remember the message after you let it out.
Mhm.
It's gone. I don't really remember my readings from clients. So yeah, I already planned on that. My main club, because I want to open different ones, but the main one would be an all-inclusive queer exotic club, where I'm combining all the things I love about burlesque, ballroom, drag. Like, I'm combining different parts of those things that I grew up on. I grew up on drag and looking up. And I know RuPaul is mainstream for a lot of people, but I mean, it's on TV, so I wanted people to be able to lip sing while they're on the stage if they want. Definitely have more enthusiasm in their costumes. People that having clients that care about costumes. And so with it, I wanted a huge restaurant. I want people in the windows modeling, and I wanted it to be all these cool names. I've already got items on the menu planned out. I mean, I want what I want.
Throw some vegan options in there.
Yeah, stuff like that, So like just just a fun place. Just a fun place. I really just want more fun places, not because I mean the misogyny, the patriarchy, it takes the fun out of what a lot of people go to the club because yes, they're in survival, they want money, but a lot of us be thinking it's going to be fun, and it end up being like, oh my God, I hate this. That's why a lot of dancers leave a club and they go to other types of sex work. They go to webcamming, they go to having tricks and sugar dads, escorting, because why am I doing all of this work standing in here? What the hell? I'm having to be told go on stage. I'm having to do all these things happen in the club. Every man is apparently a manager. Some of these clubs are just disorganized. And then you get treated like crap by a lot of the management, the DJs. It's messy. It's messy. It's
Yeah.
messy.
Um, it's definitely with with my generation, growing up, we had uh 42nd. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Um, and in the earlier years, we had what do you call it? 42nd Street, that's where a lot of the sex workers were. That's where a lot of the what do you call those peep shows and things
Okay.
were where they were like way out there. So and I say way out there because I lived in Brooklyn. So it was like
Okay.
it was a train ride to get to these things. So it wasn't easily accessible. So if you were there with that purpose in mind. And I mean, it is what it is. But now you have all these things, these um, what was I going with the thought? Um, all these X-rated, that's not even what I wanted to say, but strip clubs and things like that. When they had the transition with the new mayor, all that stuff was wiped out, and I think a lot of those individuals went to. That's when the webcamming came in, and
Okay.
you
I see
know
what
because all that was taken off of the streets and the boulevard, and now we have to make it look different, and that's where it all went to the internet.
okay.
Um, and I'm just like, thinking about it all because even now it's really hard to find a sex shop
Oh,
without you being diligent in looking for one.
really?
Yes. So like here in Arizona, they have what is it? Fascinations, but you have to drive way out to it. As you're driving, you have Lion's Den that's like way out in nomad's land, and it's like a building off the side of the highway. And yes, I kid you not. And my husband and I, we stopped at these places on purpose. It's like, what the
Okay.
hell is this all the way out here? You know? So it's like there's nothing really local that you can
Okay.
go to. And as I said, yes, you have fascinations, but again, one, you have to know where it is, have transportation to get there. Same thing with the Lion's Den. So, that's the other piece because of everyone, I want to say all these conservative mentality on, you know, putting labels on, and taking away our sexuality and replacing it with hard spirituality. And it's like, no, they go together.
Yeah.
They go
Somebody
together.
had just somebody just tried to say that on my page today, where they were like, because I was complaining that people are not clicking on my page. So every other day I have comments coming in where people are in shock because they look at one video of me, they think that that's all of me, and then they follow the page without looking. And so every other day I have comments of, "Oh my god, why do you make stripper clothes? I thought you were spiritual." Or it'll be people who came for the clothes and they're like, "Oh my god, you're doing voodoo, witchcraft." People are not realizing it all goes together. So that's been a hard thing to deal with lately too. And they suggested that I separate my store from, they said have two separate stores, one for clothing and one for spiritual stuff. And I was trying to say, no, the clothes are spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm having to explain that a lot, but it's the work that I signed up for. I really want people to stop demonizing their body.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's just your body. Like at the root of all of this, sexuality and sex is supposed to be healing. And if we didn't have bigotry, if we didn't have, people trying to create slaves out of one another, then really there's nothing wrong with sex, consenting adults. It's like, yeah, without bigotry. So without bigotry, we wouldn't have predators. We wouldn't have misogyny. We just wouldn't have those things. And then you just simply have sex. And I'm just, it's so demonized. And it's, and they feel like the conservatives, their arguments don't make sense because it almost feels like a fight on the human race. I don't know. It's like, why are we demonizing sex so much? I don't understand the body. I don't know. I don't get it.
No, and I'm with you on that. I don't get it either because if we're looking at the person holistically, sex is part of it. And
Yeah.
I commend you for not separating the two because mind, body, and soul,
Yeah.
it's right there. Mind, body, and soul. And your spirituality is part of that soul.
Yeah.
Your clothing is part of that spirituality, that soul.
Yeah.
Of you.
A lot of people are not getting it, but that's why I push what I push. And I figured, okay, well, I've been blessed with a big platform. I'm just going to say the things that need to be said because especially for people that claim they're spiritual, they claim they're not Christian, they really need to get with the program. The clothing is the conjure, the clothing is the spell. None of this is supposed to be separated. And, it's just people coming out of a very religious mindset trying to figure out how that's not what this is supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. And people don't realize that with your clothing, it brings out that inner spiritual peace within you with
Yeah.
that article of clothing.
Yeah.
It may be my thought process, but you think about the clothing that you wear and how you feel in it. That's impacting your mind. You're putting it on your body, it's impacting your mind, which when you impact your mind and you feel good in what you're wearing, that helps your spirituality. It helps you open up. It helps you be receptive to, what's happening and what's going on. So, um, and even to the maker, right? Even to the maker, you are putting a piece of you in the articles that you make. Like I'm looking at this bustier that you have behind you,
Oh
and
yeah.
that thing is like amazing.
Yeah, this is my Orisha Yemoya altar piece. And I just wanted to give her, can I move the camera a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to give her a crown. I got her a blue wig, a headpiece, the bra, and I just wanted to put my clothing on her because this store is dedicated to her. And I always tell people I make siren wear because I want you to harness and work on your inner siren. But a lot of people they're getting it slowly. There's so much work that's been done with religions that have caused us to feel like the body is demonic, like there's something wrong with our body, like we're not supposed to have feelings, like we're not supposed to be sensual. But no, I try to tell people too, back to the whole strippers don't have a lot of safe spaces to shop. You go get your clothing, and the people who make the clothing often look down on you or they don't like you. They're making the clothing for money. They learn how much strippers make, and they're like, okay, well, I want to live off a stripper instead of going to be one they damn self. And so I wanted to have a store where you come in here, I'm not looking down on you. I don't care if you an escort. I don't care if you sell ass for $40. That does not bother me. I just wanted to have a spec because I think energetically for anybody that's spiritual, no, that's not good to, buy clothing that's custom made from someone who damn near hates you,
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's exactly where I was going,
Yeah.
because when that person, whomever made it, the person who touched it and is selling it, that energy is transferred.
Yeah.
And if they have ill will towards you, you're carrying that with you on that garment.
Yeah. And then the other problem is they make a lot of boring stuff because they don't care. They don't care about the club, they don't care. So they make a lot of boring things. They're focused on money. They do the craft for money, and they make these very boring pieces. There's no real, you could tell when somebody really loves fashion and when they just doing something to make money. And it's not fair. I hate it, So I feel too, when you really love what you're wearing and you feel awesome, you'll make more money because you just simply feel good instead of, oh, okay, this outfit is whatever, it's here in my face, So that's another thing.
And I think the other thing that you offer, with your shop coming in and being spiritual, you are very personable. You
Mm-hmm.
offer that conversation. You offer that care and that shopping experience, that spiritual experience. And I don't know if the people who come into your space really recognize the blessings that you bestowed upon them in your garments that you are selling to them. Um, and that's a great marketing tool right there, because even though people may find it weird that you have spiritual articles within your store, that's a blessing,
Yeah.
because the people that show up to your store for whatever the reason is meant to be there. Just like for whatever the reason, I don't know how you showed up on my feed on Instagram. I really don't know. I saw this blue beautiful face. I was like, oh, this is cute. What's this?
Yeah.
So,
I wasn't even, the Instagram blew up, I think partially because I already blew up on TikTok. But even with TikTok, when it blew up, I was in shock because all I did was record a video. I was doing a cord cutting for a client. Now then I realized, okay, humor goes viral. Humor is healing. Humor is, and I realized, oh, I sound funny to people and I'm just soulful and comical. And then when I went to Instagram, I just decided to show my face. At first, I didn't want people to make me a part of the brand. I kind of just wanted the brand to be its own without me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I don't think that's how spirit had it lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So once I started speaking up and showing my face, everything just went up from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, with your mediumship, and do you do tarot readings as well?
Well, I started off with tarot and now I pretty much just touch the cards because I'm tactile. They help me focus if I'm just touching them. Or I'll use cards whenever my energy is not the best and I just need some clarity,
Mm.
because the medium gift do not work at all. If you're tired, all of a sudden you don't pick anything up correctly at all.
Mhm.
It's not a gift that you can just sort of run into the ground. Like, you know how we'll go into overdrive, we'll pick up extra shifts at a job.
Mhm.
What is it called? Overtime?
Yeah.
Working overtime. Okay, so I could sew a bunch of clothes when I'm tired. I could but with mediumship, you can't at all. The gift's not there, and then the client will get mad at your ass. So I do use cards sometimes for short periods of time, but no, I don't need them, and I just tell the client when I'm picking up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, and I know you mentioned that you had an interesting conversation, I say it loosely, with one of your Instagram followers about being hoodoo, voodoo kind of thing. So, like I said, I'm not a fan of labels, but if you had to put a label on it, how would you um, how would you classify your ancestral gift?
Oh, a spiritualist,
A spiritualist.
because I quite honestly don't understand all the lines driven between these things. I have read on voodoo and the history of it and how it came together. And it came together with something that people are not understanding. It came together because people did not want to be enslaved. They realized that, I think it was like three different groups, so don't quote me, but I believe it was three different collectives of people that were like, we don't want to be enslaved. And they worked together and decided to put their belief systems together, and
Mm-hmm.
then therefore came voodoo or vodun. So that's what I read in some books. Okay, now with me now though, I think the work that our ancestors did created a space where we can be more open, and a lot of people are not getting that yet. They're feeling like they still have to be so rigid or whatever. But now I think, especially because astrology, the planets are in different positions, I think it's time to be a little more fluid, more watery, more open-minded, to get out of the situations we're in. But hoodoo, again, to my understanding, it's not a religion. Some people say it is. Everybody has something different to say about the same topic when it comes to different spiritual backgrounds. So I just call myself a spiritualist because I believe in all of it. I believe that different deities are real. I may not work with them or feel called to them, but I think it's like we have different languages to get to the same source. And that's what I think God is. I think God is a energy source that if you want to be more positive or try to be a decent person, you can connect to this energy source.
I like that. I like that. And I can see that, but I always like to really ask um where that person, you, whomever, is within that spiritual space. Because, we all grew up being indoctrinated into some form of religion for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, were you Baptist, Catholic, apostolic?
I was moved around. So I've been at a Methodist church. I've been at a bunch of Baptist church. I might have been at a Pentecostal church. Like, I never had a church home that I stayed at. I even almost became Catholic. Um, I was a little kid, so it was like where family is going, that's where I just ended up. But I never sat down in one place. With all those different denominations, the one thing that I noticed was I never felt moved. Nobody ever spoke a prophecy over me that came true or made sense. Everything felt performative, pulpit performers.
Mm,
So yeah, like I learning I was a medium, I was like, these people are out of line, because I'm able to talk to people's loved ones, pick up details I wouldn't otherwise know. It's it changed me. But yeah, it revealed to me, oh yeah, all that other stuff was fake. It's kind of sad to say, but I can't even name someone who was genuine. Everything was a big performance. And for who, I don't know. Because I don't think we were connecting to God at all in that motherfucker. I felt like people was just putting on a damn show for the devil. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what these churches are about. I really don't.
Oh man, I you know what, I can't even say I disagree with that. um, I definitely I grew up in the Catholic Church. Went to Catholic school from, I'm gonna say, probably 5 years old, maybe,
Okay.
um, to graduating high school. I've been in
Wow.
Catholic school, right?
Okay.
So I definitely know about the up down, and all, know the hymns, you name it.
Okay.
So this is it. Monday through Friday, I was in Catholic school. On Sunday, we were in a Baptist church.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Talking about stark differences, right? It's like, got this and then you got this. So for I'm gonna say up until probably about 15 years, I was in and out of the Baptist church. I never really got into the whole Catholic thing because, again, I grew up in, being taught by nuns and, the priest, and I could not understand why they always had to be just altar boys and, where were the girls in the altar kind of thing. And it was just really just not my thing. And then Baptist, the music was great.
Yeah.
The music was great, and your pastor was loud and boisterous, and you came away thinking, okay. But again, it just it very conservative, because it took once for a pastor to say something negative about the LGBTQ community. I'm like, wait, if we're supposed to love everybody,
Yeah.
how can we have conditions? Love is supposed to be unconditional, but yet you just said you're demonizing a group of people. That doesn't make sense to me.
They're not supposed to be judging. And I
Yes.
haven't met Christians yet who don't judge. And then they'll judge you trying to tell you not to judge them. And it's a bunch of mind games. I don't have time for that. Every time I speak on something that regards Christianity in any capacity, it's all this bullying behavior, all this weird stuff going on. I don't have time. I tried to tell the Christians on Instagram all the time or on TikTok, tattoos are a form of a blood ritual, just simply by definition. They can't take it. But what I'm noticing too is a lot of Christians do not like their own religion. They don't like the fact that they can't sin. And my thing is, well, just sin then. Just stop being a Christian. I don't understand this. Because if you're doing this in front of God, you think God can't see you. So if the deal is you're going to sin the whole time and then ask to go to heaven, I'm not even sure how that works. Y'all disrespect the God that y'all claim y'all believe in. I really don't get it. So I don't know. Not my problem. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like, yeah, not what I say, not my monkey, not my circus, and I'm not the ringmaster. That's it. And I love that. But again, it's just the world taking away our individuality. It's taking away our evolution,
Yeah.
because this is where we're evolving to. This is, again, two spirit, masculine, feminine. I mean, that is something that's always been there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, again, the whole patriotic kind of thing came into play, where they wanted to control people, that they started to place these limits and change things. And, no, this is male, this is female, this is this is that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
close.
had trouble with that in elementary school, actually. A lot of people ask me, I think, because a lot of times people can channel just like I can channel. They have the
Mhm.
same gift I have. And a lot of people will ask me, like, what do you identify as? Because they can probably tell. In elementary school, I had a lot of trouble understanding if I was a boy or a girl. I knew that it was like, and I used to question this every day. It was like I had a lot of trouble. I knew I didn't want to wear what we call boys' clothing. So because I
Right.
was like, oh my God, it's like ugly, but I also didn't feel like I fit into the girl. It was a very confusing, I think from like second to fourth grade or first to third grade, I really had trouble understanding if I was one of the genders or both, and I used to just sit and really be like, I don't understand. And now that I hear these terms non-binary, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's just what was going on with me, and I didn't have nobody to really walk me through that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just a little bit lazy. I it's sort of like how Demi Lovato was telling people, it can be kind of tiring to keep telling people your pronouns, please, and I'm just lazy. So, I already experienced misogyny. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm a woman, so
Whatever.
um I,
It's like,
I
if that makes you happy, fine, whatever.
yeah, so because I be getting tired real fast. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just chose the easy route and I just said, okay, I'm a woman, and I've lived through the problems that you receive as a woman. So I'm like, okay, because there's a problem with every assignment. Every gender assignment is gonna come with bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I'm thinking too, because it's like, why can't we just be whoever, Because
Yeah,
maybe one day I am more masculine, one day you're more feminine. It's
yeah,
gender is fluid. Depends on which way the wave is going, right?
yeah.
And I think that's yeah.
But they wouldn't be able to have certain things in place if it were fluid. Like they wouldn't be able to have misogyny or sexism as easily.
No.
So I know it's being kept in place for reasons, but it does get annoying and tiring to, I'm just like, I don't know, all the anger. Anytime I talk about trans community, it is so much anger. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's more important things to be angry about. And somebody saying they trans is really not a problem in the world. I don't.
No, it's not. It's not a problem. And my whole doctoral research was on transgender healthcare and teaching
Wow.
nurses to be better in
Wow.
their transgender healthcare.
Okay.
So it's a passion of mine.
Okay.
Because and it's not just, again, it starts off with transgender, but it's the healthcare equity and equality for all those who are Black and brown, because there is a
Whew.
disproportionate number of inequity that is in healthcare.
Yeah.
Uh, and we see it in our infant mortality rates. We see it when we have patients going in and they're treated differently. I've I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
I've been a part of it, even from my own, which is disheartening.
Yeah.
Even from people that look like us, we get that same inequity and inequality in healthcare. So um, I commend you definitely on just being your authentic self, and the challenges is that it poses, and that the fact that you continue to do you.
Yeah. I figured a lot of the stuff I talk about is not even okay. So I have a privilege with being cisgender.
Mhm.
I have a privilege with being light skinned. So I figured, well, I'm gonna just talk about what the hell I feel like talking about, because the angry comments don't stop the conversation. So I don't know. They have to figure out why it's so much anger for them. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Um, I really don't want to be censored or silenced. So
Yeah. And then you have to think about it too, that the other part is, I always, when people are angry, I always say, why are you angry? Well, why are you mad about something that has nothing to do with you? Nothing. Not an iota has to do with you.
They
Okay.
really just want somebody that they can treat poorly. They really want systematic oppression to be layered out into different levels. And they don't realize you will always be oppressed by someone else because you think you're supposed to oppress someone else. And it's going to forever continue to be a cycle. You're going to forever be screaming Black Lives Matter because you over here talking about trans people need to be killed. You'll never get the justice you're looking for because you don't really care about justice. So it'll never make no sense to me. Even for people screaming Black Lives Matter, but as long as they're light skinned. I mean, it's like we ain't never, I don't know. So
yeah, so this whole shit to me is just like it's utter bullshit. Um and I experienced it too because the other part of what I do is I have a skin and hair care line,
okay.
right? All natural. I make it myself, called Divine Nubian Essentials, and I will watch people walk away because, and these are non-person of color, who will walk away because they think my products are just for people of color because it has the Nubian in it.
Okay.
And I say, okay, if you have skin, don't you want to take care of your skin? I mean, there's no product that is just for you have coconut oil in your skin, in your skincare products. Do you not, ma'am? Do you not have almond oil in your products? Do you not? So it just boggles my mind how how do you get that? So it's just it's
They do
again
that with my clothes. A lot of people keep asking if I make clothes for men, whether they're asking about straight men, gay men, and I keep telling them, you truly can just wear these things. And they're like, well, do I have to tuck? Well, then we would make something custom. But again, I just make stage wear. I, I don't care. I don't know
right.
why. They're like, you need to make menswear. I'm
No,
making yellow and green outfits. Y'all need to figure out if you want to wear this or not. I'm not putting a gender on it.
no. And I appreciate you for that because we are the ones who are making clothing gender or whatever.
I'm
I
like,
mean, you remember, I don't know if you ever, I mean, I'm sure you've done the history of clothing of some sort, but when we look at the history of clothing and shoes, men were the first ones to wear heels. Women never wore heels.
a pink was also assigned to them as a male colored. Pink was first a male assignment before it became
Yes.
a woman assignment. I don't I don't know. It'd be one thing if they asked me, do you have any outfits where I don't have to tuck? But again,
That's
I
yeah, that's a more appropriate. I can see that.
I guess it is, but again, it's some people don't tuck at all. So again, it's like, well,
Okay.
that's a
Or
personal choice.
or maybe do you have a garment that it makes it easier to tuck if I want to tuck, or give me the option of tuck or no tuck? I don't know. But just to ask again, I appreciate the fact that you have gender neutral clothing. There is no gender assignment to your clothing. Either you like the piece and you want to wear the piece, or you don't. You like the color, or you don't. That kind of.
We do custom. I tell people all the time, if there's something you don't we don't have, then we just simply need to make it. But it's stage wear, it's performance wear, and for some people swimwear, that's it. But now if they're asking about boxers or anything like that, absolutely not. No. But I mean, it's like, it's just not anything to do with my stuff. I also don't claim to make lingerie, so yeah.
Oh, see, and that's a good piece to put out too, because people will come into will assume if you make strip wear that you make lingerie wear.
Yeah, they think I have like Victoria's Secret. They want the lace, and I'm like, nope. I make the raunchy stuff. I make the clothing that for years a lot of people said it was too ghetto to wear to their white strip club. I make the flashy rhinestone, metallic. Like I'm a loud person, so are my clothes.
Yeah. Did you make the bustier, the bra behind you
Yeah,
on Alicia?
is I buy bras and I just decorate them, being an art kid. So I got some of these things from Joann's fabric store, cut up some fabric, took some stuff that was for like embellishment for curtains or whatever, rhinestones, glue them on, put the fabric on top here. So the bra wasn't even blue, it was pink. Took some peacock feathers. So just a lot of craft projects on the bras. The bras are interesting. I wish I could sell them on the website, but a lot of people don't understand that they're hard to fit. Every bra company has a different understanding of the same size. So I'm trying to make sure that they come in store to fit it on, because a 32B in one company fits so different than another. I don't want to deal with people needing to, I need a refund. So the bras are not available online, unfortunately, but I still sell the other outfits.
Yeah. So we talk, you say online, and I want to quickly put up your online store.
Oh, thank you.
You are so very welcome, because yes, so you guys know she has this like kick. First of all, I'm just in love with the color scheme.
Thank you. I started working on it back in 2018, and I get on Wix and I just get to trying to craft it together. I'll be trying my best.
No, it's absolutely great. And so while I'm going through the site, talk to me a little bit, because that is one question I have. I wanted you to explain. I personally know and understand about sirens. So you talk about being a siren. Talk a little bit about what actually a siren, what is a siren, and how that relates to your clothing.
For me, a siren can either be a seductress, right? Where it's like you use your voice, your gift, your singing abilities. You could be into poetry. You might be a rapper. You might be a comedian, but your voice was given to you for a reason. People listen when you speak. So a lot of people think sirens are just about singing, but for me, it's more than that. It's people listen when you speak. They can't help themselves. They're pulled in.
Well, shit, I might be a siren. Hey.
Yeah. And then, of course, the watery energy. So with a lot of siren energy, because the speaking ability, spiritually speaking, the ability for people like the gift of gab, that's not necessarily a watery thing. It's definitely air element, but siren energy, I was talking about it on live last night. The other thing that goes with it is the watery energy, your ability to be smooth, your ability to play mind games or control of the mind, your ability to communicate with emotions, a lot of moon and water and oceanic energy. And motherly energy, which a lot of people credit to mermaids versus sirens, but I feel like they are very interchangeable spirits with comparisons. So yeah, when it comes to siren wear, it's just about, people can't look away. They don't know how to, they're intrigued, they're mystified, you're magical, that's what I want for my clothing.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I've been going through your site, and I was like, oh my gosh, next time I'm in Houston, I'm definitely coming by your store.
Thank you.
And I'm in Houston a few times, because I have an aunt that lives in San Antonio, and we sometimes go to Houston to just to hang out. And Houston has great food.
Oh yes.
So we come out there. So I definitely will have to take a trip out to your store. So make sure.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you know when I'm in the area.
That would be good.
Yeah, definitely. Because I always find myself in spots like this. I'm just into spirituality and being one with yourself and understanding yourself. And every time we go into different states or wherever, I find that I'm in the metaphysical shops all the time.
Okay.
And even for my own stuff, I sell my own energy spray, energy cleansing spray with sage and Palo Santo in it, and to kind of like just cleanse the energy, especially when you can't burn sage. And Palo, I used to use it in my office when the students would come in my office. I would spray the inside, the outside before they come in. I'm like, I don't need their energy to either come in here or stay. It needs to go with them.
Yeah.
So it was one of the things that, and I used to just make it for myself, and then I just started selling it on in my shop as well. So I definitely love that, and I think that's the other piece that maybe gravitate to you because I'm not an avid tarot card reader, though I have several different tarot sets that I purchased based on the fact that they resonated with me and I just felt pulled to them. But
Okay.
I don't do readings for other people. I just do them for myself. And once in a while, my daughter will say, Mom, can you just do a reading for me? Because I feel like I'm a little off and something, just whatever. So I would do that. But yeah, so it was just like that really draws me. And like I said, I love your website. It's beautifully done. It's very inviting.
Thank
Um, and thank you for explaining to the audience what being a siren is and who a siren is. Because again, with mainstream media, they see sirens and they were like thinking you're like this demonic entity. It's like, no,
every
no.
day I'm called a demon. Every day. Every day. I don't, at this point, I don't know.
It's like, no, do you guys understand? So that's why I wanted to make sure I made it a point that you really explain, because, from your perspective, what and who a siren is. So, and I said it jokingly, but I do believe that I too am a siren because I've been told that
Okay.
people want to listen to me. They're like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to sit here and listen to you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't know why, but I just love listening to you talk. Okay. Well, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I'm mad, a lot of people have told me that they just listen to me and they end up falling asleep. And my friends, and it's like, I'm over here popping off, talking shit, and that's soothing to y'all? Y'all are falling
Mhm.
asleep to this shit?
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what to say.
Like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I it's like, okay, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
just being me. I'm just having a conversation. But if that is soothing to you, record it and you can self-soothe. I don't know.
That's why I started the Lolo letters, where I'm just going to talk to people on an audio and hopefully help them to cleanse or help them. And you know what's so funny? I got inspired by um a spiritualist that I think we spoke about it earlier. Did we? What was her name? Mystical Lipstick.
No, you didn't speak about her. No.
Did you hear about her on the news?
Mm-mm. I don't
She
watch the news. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't watch the news.
I learned about it from the spiritual timeline, right? And
Hmm.
um to my understanding, she was a big spiritualist on Twitter or a Reiki master, astrologer, whatever.
Hmm.
I had her blocked for whatever reason. I tend to block people and don't even know. I don't care. But she took the life of her boyfriend, and then
Ooh.
she allegedly drove in her car and pushed her two daughters out of the car, or two kids out of the car. One of the kids didn't live. And then after that, she drove herself into a tree. So that's apparently what happened. And come to find out, people that I, had been dealing with in court, calling the police, people that I don't like were booking with her. Like, I'm noticing a pattern of people I don't like book with spiritualists I don't like, and it's such a big and small community. The spiritual community is very interesting. I do not click up with people. A lot of people get very cliquey in the spiritual community. They want to go to every spiritual event in the city. They want to know every famous spiritual, TikToker. I never did clicks. I'm so Scorpio. I used to sit by myself at lunch. After I got rid of my last friendship, I sat by myself at lunch and I would frown at people walking through the hallway. I don't give a damn. I don't do clicks. I don't do clicks. So Yeah. So while people are calling me a fake spiritualist and all that, they're missing the whole point. But I'm starting to think it's protection for me that everybody doesn't really realize how real my gift is, because maybe they're not supposed to.
They're not, it's not meant for them.
No, because if they did know how real the gift is, they'd probably be scared, and I'd probably be threatened a lot more than I already am, because I know things that I'm not supposed to know. And that can be scary for people.
Yeah. And again, our ancestors, you have an ancestral gift.
Yeah.
Somewhere in your line, you have a medicine person, shaman, medicine woman
Okay.
that is in your line, and um, you have awakened that spirit within you, and like I think this is a time that it's needed, and you were chosen to be that voice,
Yeah.
and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And when we try to make it for everybody, that's where we find that we lose or we become disconnected with that gift we have. And I'm so thankful that you have come to that realization early on that, you know what, you go ahead and do you. I'm okay over here. You be all right over there. Because honestly, what happens is by you trying to um, guide them in their spiritual journey, they're bringing their negative into your space.
Yeah.
And so you're absorbing and connecting to that. And then you're wondering why the hell your day is fucked up. It's like, what the hell?
I had
And
that problem at first. I
mm-hmm,
When I first learned I was a medium, I had a lot of friends that wanted to obsessively religiously ask me for readings through the day, like 10, 15 times through the day. Oh, are you by your cards? Can you read for me? Can you read for me? Can you read for me? And then I found myself acting crazy as hell, because it's like, what are we doing? What is this? But when people get a taste of something real like that, it always happened from, oh wow, you're able to hear from my grandmother. Okay, now I want to ask you about this boy over and over, and
mm-hmm,
just friendships didn't reciprocate. And so now it's like, yeah, I don't really, definitely went back into a space of Scorpio. We ain't opening up. I don't need no new friends. I'm not taking applications. Just wanting to make sure people aren't trying to be around me for my gift.
mm-hmm.
And me having to learn what it means to back it up. I can't sleep at everybody's house. I can't drive in there. I can't sit in everybody's car, because I could pick things up and I could see things, and everybody can't get in my car. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people not welcome at my house. Shit, people got to sign contracts now to be at my house, to talk to me, to work. I don't care. People are, they're like, oh, well, why are you doing that? You're not already a celebrity. Because I'm telling y'all, I know the future. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not about to end up in these goofy situations like these other celebrities. I'm on NDA. We're doing NDAs. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It protect you. And I would tell people too, it's protecting you as well.
Yeah.
Because you're signing it, I'm signing it, I'm signing that I'm not going to spread your stuff, and you're signing that you're not going to sit here and discredit me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's protecting both entities, and I applaud you for doing that. Not that many people, are savvy enough to say, "Hey, sign an NDA." I mean, I've signed plenty of NDAs due to filming and things like
Yeah.
that. And respectfully, it protects both parties.
Yeah, because that way, if my address gets out, I need to look at who knew. So yeah, people have to sign contracts just to hang out with me, just to work at my store. They have to sign confidentiality agreements about knowing my address, and anybody that gave me any sort of weird behavior, which did take place. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm not. No, I don't like being somebody that can foresee the future and knowing what's about to go down and what's about to happen. No.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to protect your energy, protect your space, protect you,
Yeah.
protect you, and yeah, kudos for you for being in that, and putting those things in place. Um, I'm going to say this: just go ahead and email me my NDA. Okay? Um, because I ain't gonna share your information, but I'll do my due diligence and I'll sign my NDA. To send them over in the emails because you cannot get rid of me that easy. But I'm more than happy to follow suit and do what I'm supposed to. Okay, I'm a rule follower to a certain extent.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there are rules. Some rules are made to be broken. Not everything, this. So,
Yeah.
I guess that's why I said I'm a rule follower to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the next thing that you have going on? Because I saw that you have the pageant coming up.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that really quickly before because I know I've already talked to you for about an hour and 20 minutes already.
The Miss Mermaid pageant stemmed from an idea that I will later take forth on. So it's practice for a bigger project where I want to have costuming, exotic dance. So this is just practice. And I also want us to spread more knowledge and awareness on different mermaid and siren deities. So,
Yes.
I'm like, okay, well, I don't know everything and I'm trying to learn these different spirits and there's so much to learn. And instead of people trying to act like a know-it-all, I said, well, let's make a fun time out of learning. So basically the contestants, you know how it'll be Miss Texas, Miss Memphis, whatever, Miss Nashville, whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be Miss Yemoja, Miss Oshun, Miss Mamiwata, Miss, and so I looked up some different mermaid and siren spirits to try to put them in there. I just learned about Aphrodite having mermaid aspects. So in the next pageant, there'll be a Miss Aphrodite, but the winner is crowned Miss Mermaid off of the fact that you did your research and you did your best to represent that chosen title. So
Nice.
from the auditions, we'll put people with titles that match with who they naturally already are. And then the job is look up as much as you can about that spirit and show the judges how you represented this spirit. People are asking about racial sensitivity. And I just told them be sensitive, because we're not casting, just for the sake of it, we're not going to cast anybody Caucasian for an African deity. We're just not going to do it. But everybody else, it's like, we may have somebody that they may be Asian and then they're getting casted for a Russian. I wasn't really trying to make it about your skin tone matching the mermaid because essentially mermaids they're water spirits. Mm-hmm. They're not, they don't have race, but just out of respect of racism, then no, but I just want us to have fun. I really don't want this to be too much of politics. I just want this to be a good research project. And moving forward, I want to do more events. People want me to teach classes, but I really don't like classroom settings. So I'd rather just do like group prayer and group spiritual work together. But more events moving forward. I want people to have fun. Fun is healing. Humor is healing. I want people to understand the importance of getting out of the house and breathing fresh air and having some sun on your skin and getting serotonin. And I just want people to have fun. The economy sucks. A lot of people live in month to month. I just wanted fun events for everybody. So that's what the Miss Mermaid pageant is about. Celebrating mermaid and siren deities, allowing people to walk a stage that in other, pageants we'd never be allowed to walk. If you're thick, curvy, big, fat, so many reasons why we wouldn't be allowed to walk in a regular pageant or a big pageant. So it's also an opportunity we don't care about y'all being skinny, none of that. I just wanted them to do their best to be in alignment with their mermaid assignment.
That's awesome. And I noticed that too, because I have a couple of other people that I know, friends of mine, who do participate in the traditional pageantry.
Mm.
And I was looking around on their websites and their different events and things, and I noticed that a lot of the pageants are now going towards taking away from that. You got to be thin, you got to be this, you got to be that. I did because I saw some. I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I was like, because they were all nationalities. That was
Okay.
one. Um, Weight sizes. I was like, this is beautiful. This is what
Okay.
it was meant to be.
Okay.
Uh, and mind you, I've only witnessed it in Arizona because the people I know are in the Arizona pageants. And I think I had actually it was Sabrina. I had Sabrina on and we talked about that. And because again, I was raised with we saw pageants. They look
Whew.
okay. I grew up I would never be in a pageant because one, I'm not fair skinned, I don't have good hair, I am not super skinny. I got thick thighs and hips. It ain't happening. Okay.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
no matter how much people try, my hips are not going anywhere. They're there. Okay. It's genetically who I am. So I appreciate that now we're going away from that, and I appreciate that you are doing something like this because, like you said, it's not only just to showcase the individual, but you're also applying a learning experience. You're learning about something you probably would never have.
Yeah, because I don't know some of these spirits either. And I'm like, well, we might as well all learn together because this is very interesting. I got a book from
Yes.
the Houston Interactive Aquarium. That's where I got a book. And it was talking about all these different mermaid deities. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. So I wanted to put a show
What
together.
book is that?
The Mermaid Atlas. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. I
The
have to
Mermaid
look at
Atlas.
the Mermaid
And they
Atlas.
go over different parts of the world with different mermaid and siren folklore.
Might have to get myself a copy, get my daughter a copy.
They actually put Yemoja. Now they
Yeah.
didn't put Oshun because I know a lot of people. I know certain island areas believe she's a mermaid, some don't. But they have Yemoja, they have Mamiwata, they have La Sirene,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Nomo, which are apparently
Wow.
intergalactic African spirits from the Dongo tribe. It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I definitely have to look into that.
So
You
people
spoke
are
about
sending-
classes and courses. You see that in coming in your future. You said you do your I was gonna call them strawberry letters. They're not strawberry letters. Your
Lolo letters.
Lolo letters. And our there used to be on a radio station back in New York. They used to call them strawberry letters.
Oh wow. Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
no, they're not strawberry letters. Lolo letters. Um. So, you think maybe that you will start doing that outside of
my
on top of in the class or having a class and then I know your Lolo letters are separate, but having a class to teach about being a mermaid, having a siren spirituality and what it means at
Yeah,
some
I
point.
do. I do. I just get so bored with school settings. It is so sad. So when we spoke earlier and you were telling me about podcasts, at that time I knew like a lot of people had been asking me to start a podcast and I was like, because I don't like to edit and I don't feel like I don't want to. I just want to show up somewhere and talk and leave. I don't want to edit nothing. So then an opportunity did come to me where somebody in the city is offering to edit, to let you come in their space, near the Galleria and just record. And so then I was like, oh, so that might be where I go with it. But in terms of classes, we'll see because I get so bored with it. And that's why I was saying it might be group based prayers where I'm teaching us in the moment, like we're doing hands-on ritual work instead of y'all sit down and I talk to y'all because that I can't. I need something lively. I don't know. I can't. School is
You need
boring.
the interaction. You need to have that
Yeah.
person, the contact. You can't sit in there talk to yourself in a room.
No.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So here's one thing, as being part of I like to call my soul tribe, my soul tribe. Do you think you would want to post your Lolo letters in different places? Because you can post it like what I was just and it just came to my mind as you were talking, like you can have Lolo's Corner on my podcast page, and they can just you tape your Lolo letters for your website. You just send me a copy and I post it on there. So they got Lolo letters with your information and come to you and back. I know we're discussing this online, so y'all gonna have to forgive me because I go off on a tangent. And if I got a thought, I'm going to talk about it while wherever I am. So that's my thought right now. So you think about it.
Okay. Okay.
you
I,
you do not have to give me any answers right now. I was just thinking because it just came to me, and I say, you know what, it's speaking to me, so let me just say it. Because I do have some individuals who would share stuff on my page, on my website page, and also write blogs and things like that. So if you find that you write a blog or something about one of the I was going to say the ancestors, but yes, one like a Oshun or something like that, and you want to share your writings, we can do that too. You can add it to the blog as
okay.
well. So it's just things like that. It's one of those things where, as I expressed to you, I'm all about all of us getting ourselves out there, and especially for those of us who are unique creatives and are practicing in our authentic space, at offering that opportunity because it allows more space to open up to you, and gets more people out there. And I again, we're all over the place. So information is one of those things that I don't keep to myself. I share. Sharing is caring, and that's what we do. We
Okay.
gonna see each other grow.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll be messaging you about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so think about it. Is there but again, it came to my mind. I said, let me just mention it now. But yeah, I love what you're doing. I love that you're doing the mermaid. I saw some of the auditions tapes that you had placed up there. Um, it's just great. I love seeing everyone just enjoying the skin that they're in. I mean, and that's my yeah, and that's that's my slogan for my my product, but it's just how I feel. You own the skin that you're in, and I love that you are embracing it and you're challenging and encouraging other people to embrace it, no matter um, who they are, where they come from, and it's a beautiful thing, and I wish more of us were doing that and just showing love to one another, no matter who it is and where you come from. So I thank you for that. I thank you for being your authentic self and sharing your authentic self with me and with everybody else. I mean, like I said, you're part of the tribe now.
Well, I'm
I,
so glad for the opportunity. I thought it was really exciting.
Yay! I'm glad. I'm glad. And I'm definitely going to head out to Houston. Oh, my calendar this year is so full. It's scary. With baby, with just,
Okay.
so yeah, so we're having a bouncing baby boy. So everything is going to be blue because my daughter's favorite color is blue, and that just gave her a reason to have everything blue, which is fine. Which is
Oh, shucks.
I know it's just it's one of those things, and I'm just proud to see where we're going as a female, a feminine collective.
Okay.
Um, and I wish us all to be more present in our skin, present in our spirituality, mind, body, and soul, and understand that there is a true connection between sexuality and spirituality. And I think you definitely offer that and you show that because, again, we all know if you don't know, guys, I'm going to share with you. When you give up a part of yourself sexually, you're giving up part of your energy,
Yeah.
part of you. That's your spirit that you are sharing with another person. Not knocking anyone, but when you are looking at the sex worker and the sex in entertainment industry, they're given their spiritual energy. They need to replenish that.
Yeah.
So again, I applaud you for connecting the two because honestly, if I was a entertainer, I would be in the shop. I'll be getting my bras, my bustiers, my outfits, and then I'll be going over there to get my incense, my sage, my
Yeah.
and just because you are and I hope this resonates with someone out there. When you are out there and you are on stage in a packed club or anywhere, you are absorbing all of that.
Yeah.
Anyone who touches you, anything you touch that they give you, there is an energy transfer that is happening. And you're taking it in with you. And I don't think a lot of people understand that or believe in that, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
you know. So take that, I tell people take that as you may. But you can't let everyone touch you. Like you said, you can't let everyone be in your space, in
Yeah.
your home, in your cars, and things like that. I sage my house when people come to visit. I sage my house when people leave.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to be disrespectful to the individuals, but it's just
Yeah.
just want to make sure the energy is clean when you come and energy is clean when you go. That's it. And it's funny. My kids, my daughter and her fiance, both they come to the house. They're like, "We're just so at peace at your house, Mom." I said, "As you should be. It's just like it shouldn't be stressful. You shouldn't walk into the home and feel like this intense stress of energy. If you do, that's your sign to leave."
Yeah. People always say they feel so they'll be like, "Oh, it feels so good in here. Oh, the energy is so good in here." But I also think it's a blue, and I think blue is very
Really soothing.
yeah, it's like we come out of water, we think of water when because we've assigned blue to water, right? So, so
Hmm. Is very calming. So that's definitely adds to that ambiance too. Is
yeah.
that soothingness of the blue that surrounds them. It's like you walk into a big hug. That's
Yeah.
what we walk into a big hug. Yeah, I think you're doing great, and not that you need my approval or any on anything, but I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing, and I
Thank
hope someone out there can really see a value and comes out to your shop in Houston. As I said, you are located in Houston, Texas,
Yes.
right?
Yes. On
And
Main and Fondren. Main and Fondren. It's literally right at the light. I I'm off a freeway, so like cars get to see the sign.
nice, nice. Love that marketing right there.
Yeah.
Right off the freeway. You can't miss my
Yes.
sign. There you are. And I also have her Lolo's website up there so you guys can see and frequent her page. Go to the website. You guys saw the website up there as well. And she's definitely open for spiritual guidance, but remember, you have to sign the NDA. So if you're not willing to do that, don't call her. Okay, don't waste your time. Just don't do it. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, and share the information with somebody who's willing to do it. How about that? If it's not you. But yeah. So thank you, Lolo.
No
Oh my
problem. Thank
gosh.
you, doctor. Oh my gosh. I did a bachelor's and I'm done. I can't.
Yeah, it still shocks me to this day. I think one day they said that it'll wear off. I'm like, yeah, I doubt it because I don't know. I feel pretty damn awesome because
Yeah.
it was a lot. I thought I was done after the bachelor's, and I'm like, no. And then I go get 2 master's degrees. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? Yeah, I'm
Hey.
like, I'm insane. I'm insane. And then I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm gonna get my doctorate. I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
and here I am. So I'm glad that right now I think my husband's glad there's nothing else that I want to do, but that's not true. I do want to do or my whole goal was to be a herbalist.
Okay.
Um, so I actually really wanted to be one of those individuals who were out in the villages of the Amazon, living with the tribe, learning about the plants and insects that help heal and do all those things. That was really something I really wanted to do. Because you see all the Eastern European individuals going out there, I'm like, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we out there learning about our indigenous, the plants and the herbs? I mean, we can't even say it's passed down to us anymore because that's been washed out of us. So yeah, yeah, that's a whole nother rant for me. But I just like so that's really was my passion. So um yeah, after I sit for my boards, I'll probably look into an herbalist course
Okay.
so I can like really study the plants and the herbs. I mean, I know a little bit just from, the working knowledge of what I do, which is why I have the skincare line. Because honestly, um, all of the plants and herbs that I use in the product are
Hmm.
all healing for the skin. So yeah. I like there's if you ever go on the website, I literally burned my hand and you cannot tell I burned my hand.
Okay.
That's how well it healed my skin. There is not a scar from where I burned my hand.
Okay.
I was like, what in the magical hell? All right. So it's like I don't sell or talk about anything that doesn't work. And I am a witness to say every product that I sell and make, I use on my body from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, including my hair. I do not buy hair care products.
Wow.
Mhm. And my locks are 5 years in the making.
Okay.
They are down to my chest.
Okay.
So, it's just those things that if I can do this with the little bit of working knowledge that I have, it's the sky's it's like
Yeah.
what am I doing? So yeah, so that's my next plane is to do herbalist medicine and heal us because again, as I said to my other guests from this morning, I said, then Mother Nature gives us not only the disease, but gives us the healing element to make it right.
Yeah.
They go together, yin and yang,
Yeah.
masculine and feminine. They all go together. So with everything that that's ailing us, there is a treatment that is grown in this earth to treat it.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go any deeper than that because she had me on a tangent this morning. I was like, I even just stopped talking. I just let her. It was her show. I was just listening, like, really. I tell you, it hurt. That one will air next Friday,
Okay.
the 14th. So for all of y'all out there, yeah, that one was a doozy that I just kind of, it was her show. I was just there to listen and be her audience. Um, but it was fantastic. I mean, it really was. And so she's a social justice major. So she has a degree in social justice and, a master's in something else. So I tell people when we did the podcast, I said, guys, she's not just rambling like craziness. She actually has a degree. Just because it doesn't make sense to you doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah.
And she says it in a way to simplify it and make you understand it. So she's not using all these big jargon to get it across. And it's just, it's a conversation. I was like, yeah, go for it. Talk away. I'm just here, which is great. And it's okay because you have some things like that. And then that's the whole reason for this platform, right? If you have something that you want to say and you want to share and it's a creative space, go for it. And if it ends up that you're the only one talking and I'm just sitting there listening, as long as it makes sense, and I will go for it.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. That's what it's for. But thank you. I don't want to keep you any longer. I appreciate you taking the time out. I appreciate you just being your beautiful self. Oh my gosh, guys.
Thank you.
She's just gorgeous. And it's not and gorgeous in the whole mind, body, and soul. It's not just a physical beautiful. It's just I don't know what it is. I just, again, something about you brought me to you, and I thank you. I really thank you.
I thank you too.
Thank you.
We will speak soon.
We sure will. We sure will. So with that, do you have anything else you want to share where they can find you? We talk about the store. Is there anything else that you want to share before we go?
I'm just gonna warn people when they get to my personal page, Lolo with the Fro on Instagram, I'm not in work mode. There's a huge shock of what's going on. I don't have any apologies. I don't know. We'll work through meshing things together so people stop separating reality, spirituality. It's all supposed to be one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love Lolo with the Fro. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're just a beautiful soul. I just love you. You're just great. You're just great. And I thank you again for taking the time out to be here with me. And definitely if you're always welcome back. So if there's something that you want to share, if you want to come on after the pageant and share how the pageant went, just let me know. We can do it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go and get some food.
Me too. All
right. You take care.
You too. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Oh gosh, thank you guys so much for joining us. Lolo Lavish is just one of those souls where you just, like I said, I just gravitated to her and found her Instagram and reached out and she responded. And here we are having this great conversation. Again, the conversation is not for everyone, and that's okay. That's okay. But if it is for someone that you know, please do your due diligence and do share. I thoroughly appreciate you. Lolo is found at thatdollarblue.com and the Dollar Blue on Instagram so that you can follow up with her. Like I said, you saw her products and they are amazing and they were made by her. So definitely check her out. And you can find us on WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV, as well as all your podcast streaming platforms. Again, I thank you guys for taking the time out to be here with me. And please continue, please continue to take care of yourself, take care of each other. If you have not gone to the soulfuleclectic.com and subscribe, please subscribe, like all those things to the podcast. You can find us on YouTube as well, and also on Instagram. But definitely, if there is a show that you want to see, recap, Apple Podcasts, Spotify is also there, Google, Pandora, or you can just go to the website and click on the show you missed. Thank you. Take care of yourself and each other. Namaste, guys.